Any button. So, here we go. So, we're going to continue. Looks like the captions are working as well, which is great. I'm going to turn it down for a little bit for me. Maybe it's not too late. Oh, we got to do this part again. Okay. I could tell him I'm sorry. I'm fine here, all things considered. The camera's a bit too much for my taste, that's all. As long as I behave, he'll keep me alive, right? Everything is fine. One day, he'll realize it's better to let me go. Or maybe the police will find me, who knows. Patience and submission, that's my creed from now on. Playing the action hero. That's a good way to get yourself killed. It's not like there's any way I can leave this place. And since I'm trapped here anyways, why worry? So we did do this mini game before we ended, but this first one was definitely the hardest. There we go. Okay, we went down here, but everyone's voice lines seemed to have changed. I could still drown, but what would that fix? See, that's the thing, is the voices are starting to change a bit. So we're going to talk to all these youth talent. If they sink, can I still swim? Okay, we can't look at the statue. Even a city's darkest, dirtiest corners are worth lighting up, no matter how much they might scare us. See, you're noticing the change in these faceless here. They're starting to change their attitude. They were very nihilistic to start out, but now they're seeming kind of hopeful. Feels like I've been here forever, but it's so easy to stand in one place. At least more hopeful than they were before. Do you ever look out on the horizon and wonder, have I been missing out? Also, this is the first time it's been dark here, like this dark, where we needed light. You clear muddy water by letting it settle, but sometimes you've got to make a big splash. You think the blanket protects you from what you're afraid of, but your fear's trapped in there with you, and it's thriving. Interesting. Never heard it put that way, but sure. Maybe it's not too late to fix things. Maybe it's not too late to go back. Maybe I can grow old on my own terms. Gouging the eye of Polyphemus was not enough. Odysseus knew that, and so do you. We never drown in the same water twice. Is this the magician? The Doe of Balboros, Mademoiselle Gloria. Hey, Mr. Magic. Robert told me you've been playing some risky games lately. What do you mean? You know. We all like to think we're the flame, but actually, most of us are just the wax. Want to play a game? Should make you feel good. You know what? Let's... Some big fun. Let's try this. Let's see what's up. Oh, is it memory? I see you're trying your hardest. Lucky one. I wasn't paying attention to the... By the time I figured out it was, memory, Okay. Let's see. I'm not gonna remember these. I think it was that one? No. Oh, it was down one. Wait, it changed. What? Oh, man. Okay. We'll get this. Wow, I am not good at this. I think it's because it's so quick. I don't have a chance to like really see them all in one go. Because usually with memory, they show you all the cards and then they flip them over and then you do it. But he's doing it over time, which is making it harder for me to remember them. Also, I think they're changing. Maybe they're not. I don't know. It's... Yeah. I got a way to do this. Yes, I know this is cheating. I don't care. I'm gonna take a video. Okay. So let's see. Now, can I slow this down? Keep the video. Okay, so that means this and this are boxed. Yes, I know I'm cheating. Okay. First one was hand. Wolf eye. Okay. This and this are masks. Box is 3 and that one. So this and this. Okay, so hand is that first one. Okay. And hand. So eye. Okay. Eye and eye. Slug. Slug. Wait, what? It is changing. Right? Like, yeah, that should have been slug. So he is cheating. Okay, okay, so this should be moon, and this should be moon. Heart. Where's the other heart? Okay, the hearts are above each other. Flowers. Okay, so these are both flowers. Yeah, see, he changed it because this is supposed to be slug. So he's cheating. That's messed up. Okay, so now I don't feel bad about cheating because he's cheating. Okay, so this and this should be the same, and the last two, I saw this while I was setting it up, so the last two should also be the same. Okay. Let's look at that video. Eye, box, sun. Okay, so this should be an eye, this should be an eye. This should be a box, this should be a box. This should be the sun, this should be the sun. Okay. Mask. Okay, the masks should be in the same row or column. Yeah, he switches them. He literally switches them. Okay. So if that's where the fox is, then what is this? What is this? Fox. Okay, so that's the fox. Okay, so that should be a hand. Where's the other hand? So this should be a hand, and this should be a hand, but it's not because he changes it. Okay, where were the slugs at? So this should be a slug, and this should be a slug. He cheats! I can't believe this. That's so messed up. Like, I thought it was like maybe like he switches one pair. No, he switches multiple pairs. We're gonna get this. Okay. Okay. So this is a sun and this is a sun. Okay. Now, is this a hand? It is a hand. Okay. The box. Where's the other box? Okay, this should be a box. And this should be a box. Mask. What is this? It's a mask, and then this should be the mask. Cool. Plug. Okay, so what is this? That's a slug. This should be a slug. See? He changed it. Okay, so if that's the heart, what is this one? Okay, so those are the hearts, which that means that he probably switched this one to slug and that one to slug. Okay, so what's this one? Flowers and an eye. Okay, so if you switch the eye, where are our eyes at? There and there. So it would be, that's an eye, that... Wait, what? He switched them back? Am I just looking at this wrong? Is he not cheating? I'm very confused because it seems like he's cheating. Oh, I was wrong with this one. So this box and this box. Yeah, he's definitely cheating. Okay, we're gonna give this one more shot. But can't believe they would do this. Like, I get he's a magician and that's part of the craft and all of that, but like, come on, man. so he switched the flowers. Did he switch these flowers? No. Where were the other flowers? Because that's where our mask is now. At the end here. Okay. Okay, so it should be the eye and hand. So this should be a hand, and this should be a hand. Nope, he switched it. So where's the other eye? Yeah, see, he switched it twice in a row. You can't win. You legitimately can't win. That's so unfair. Because there's no way the player is going to know that he's cheating. Because, like, unless you have, like, eidetic memory where you remember where everything is perfectly, you're just gonna assume that you forgot, right? But he's cheating. He literally switched one card on us twice. Spring 1990, Paris, New York, Crystal Charnel. Alright, what is this? I don't like that. That's the first thing about this game that I don't like. I get it's making an allusion to nothing is as it appears or whatever. But the problem with that specific game being it's not as it appears is you make the player question their own memory, right? Which can be very upsetting for people, right? Like, the reason why 3-card ante is usually the go-to for that is because, one, most people that know 3-card ante know that it's a cheat, right? There's 3 cards, you have to, basically, if you've never seen a 3-card ante, is basically you have like a black card, and a red card. Usually it's like the queen or something. The red card is usually like a queen or a king or whatever. They say keep your eye on the queen, and then they shuffle them right on the table. But it's always 3 cards, right? And then they go, okay, pick the queen, and you touch one, and it's like, nope, that's not it. And then they'll show you where the queen was at, right? They will continue to do that. The reason why it's a trick is because it's a sleight of hand trick. They actually take the queen off the board while they're throwing cards around, and then there is no queen to be had, right? So you know it's a trick. And then what they do is when they go to reveal, they swap the cards back out to show, oh, you messed up, right? That one would be a bit better than memory, because that game, like, if I had not been recording it, I would continue to assume that there's something wrong with my memory, which is not good, right? Like, yeah, he's a magician, you expect him to cheat and stuff, but I still feel like, of the games I would pick for that, that's not the one I would choose. Okay. Why are you here? Hello, Gloria. Oh my. Gloria? Hello, Gloria? I don't know what we're supposed to do here. Oh, I see. But yeah, that was definitely a choice. Okay. So is this about confidence? You're there too. Good to see you, familiar face. If we go up this way. Can't remember the last time I saw the sunrise. Okay, so red lights it can pass through, the regular lights it can't. I need to wait for it to... Okay. Alright. Let's take a deep breath and go. Ah, I see. Okay. Stronger than him. No fear. We can't push through them. Okay. Maybe we need to go a different way. Oh, that's interesting. Now that's coming after us. Alright, so a similar thing here. Okay. We need to fade it into that. Wait for it to turn around. And there we go. The bathtub's filling up. It used to be his terrain, but now it's mine. I'll have to take the initiative. Oh. Got eaten by the mannequin. I was trying to walk around it, I got stuck on a rock and then it ate me. Okay, so it looks like we got like 4 paths to go. We opened up this one here. Okay. Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen. Oh, okay, if you get caught now. Oh, that's not fair. It can, like, burst into one of its charging things. It shouldn't be able to do that. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to hit it now so he's in the light, and then go. His strength and weight will be useless. Are we setting a trap for him? Well, that's... okay. I can't run. Oh, the red lights slow him down. Okay. I see. Oh, I'm stuck. Oh, I was so close. Yeah, I cannot run, by the way. That is a choice of the design here. I do not have the ability to run. Okay. We'll see whose fear is the worst enemy. No fear with all the rage. And get up there. I'm pretty sure this is where it wants us to go. What are these bubbles? Are they death? Ah! They are indeed. Now is that just markers? Like, do I sink if I keep? Okay, no, those are just, I see. Those are to tell you where the depths are, so. A little hard to move up there. There we go. What's a cuckoo to a warbler, a pigeon to a swan? Homo homini chimera est. Interesting. Okay. How are we supposed to get up there? Ah, I see. We've been over this already. That nest has seen its last egg, man. Coo-coo-coo-choo. All we need is one hit, and it's straight to the top, squabbo. I can fly higher than an eagle. And how can we help you, little lovebird? Don't call me that. Didn't mean to ruffle his feathers, chickaboo. Don't call me that either. Fair enough. Are these pun birds? You're not crying foul, are you? Haters can go pluck themselves. Wow. Definitely leaving now. This is what it sounds like when doves cry. Let's call that our swan song, guys. It's really been a hoot. Okay, now she's getting in on the puns. Convenient. Okay, so we're taking the train with the rest. Want to grab a bite before we head home? Heard what happened to her? Yeah, she kind of deserved it, though. Wow. Watch where you're going. Looks awesome. Thanks, just bought it yesterday. Paris by night. Whoa, calm down. Who does she think she is? What is this? Well. Ah, something has joy. There's a picture of our child self there. Thanks. Are you alright? Yeah, I think so. Wanna get out of here, get some fresh air? Sure. That's how they met. Remember, she said there was a creep on the train? First time I've been here. It's nice. Bot Zaris Station, the tipping point of the boots. I like to come here when I feel overwhelmed. You get overwhelmed? Quite a lot, yeah. I act tough, but it's just an act. Well, it suits you. Act that way long enough and it'll become natural. Why don't you hang around and find out? You know what, Gloria? I just might. So, guessing we found courage. I think that's what that is. Did everything I could to make this work. Everything. I'm creative, resourceful. Maybe even an artist after a fashion. But I'm running out of ideas. All I know is that the harder I try, the worse it gets. And I can't stand it anymore. One word, Gloria. One single word from you. Just say the word and I'll... Oof. No bluffing if that's what you want. That's what you'll get. Slippity slice goodbye, Babo. If I wanted to, I could turn this knife against you. Wow. This is, but I won't. You mean too much to me. How about a change of perspective? Oh, Gloria. Am I mad to think that we could start anew? Oh, Gloria, give me one more chance. Make me the happiest man in the world. That's all I ask. One chance to show the real me, the good me. I bid you a good night for now, but please consider it, Gloria, for me. Thankfully, he just gave us the ammunition we needed, right? Never. Gloria? I will never love you. Both of us are trapped on each side of this door, and at the end of the day, one of us won't get away with it. No. Hey, what's up? Oh, hey. Oh, that looks delicious. Looks like you're back in your white knight's favor. Yeah, great. We miss you outside. I know. He opened it last night, the cell door, I mean. That's good, right? He was on his knees crying. That's definitely good. I was frozen on the blanket, but I think he had a knife. That's, yeah. It's like he didn't know whether to cut my throat or his own. Why not both? Tough crowd. Still, I don't know what I'd do if I had the chance. Attack him, try to kill him? Hope we're being rhetorical here. I mean, the only right answer is, wow. But you won't get that chance just by waiting for it. You have to make it happen. I'm scared, Joy. So scared. Okay, so this is under the roots of that tree, I think. Yeah. Bray braid? Okay, I see. It's like Simon Says. Not doing. Okay, I wasn't doing it fast enough. So this is either courage or resolve, is what I'm thinking. Elevator. Into the clouds. Ah, a much more realistic heart. Reverie. Ah, here we go. Yeah, we've seen that before, where the mouth was coming around the stage. Maybe it's fear, but maybe it's courage. Yeah, they've got the same symptoms after all. Oh. It's like an Oni head. Picture your heart is a phoenix on the rise. Filling your chest with courage, pulling you skyward. So it is courage, yeah. I will hydrate in just a second. Thank you for that, ZJ. Also, how are you doing today? It's only fear if you're following. Here we go. There is the hydrate. Chilling at work like normal, planning and preparing for the weekend. Yeah. It's hot. It is hot in a lot of places. Thankfully, where I'm at has started to cool down. It's currently 78 degrees here. So Fahrenheit. 78 degrees Fahrenheit. So she flooded the... Yeah. Basement. Which we kind of knew was the plan to begin with. Because the bathtub was filling up as we were building up her courage. Gloria. That's the mannequin. I'm gonna guess that's the mannequin. And then she's gonna trap him in there. Yep. Such amazing sprite work. This game is really good. Yep, there she is. How do you like this change of perspective? Yeah, this game has been really amazing. Day 179. She's been down here for half a year. Act 6. So this is the final act. Gloria's apartment. August 8th, 1990. Dear Diary, it's been 4 months today. The more time passes, the more it feels like the whole thing was a bad dream. How convenient. That is your brain doing work. Sadly, the city's still here to remind me that it was real. Yep. People stealing glances, their faces full of pity or shame. The city never stops watching me. Maybe they're all just part of the dream, too. Maybe the last 20 years have been a single slumber and I'll wake up any minute. Mom's letting me sleep in a little while longer. When she wakes up, we will have breakfast in the kitchen, marmalade toast, and hot chocolate. And then she'll drop me off at school. Oh, okay. Wonder if the delivery guy would be okay to do my dishes for extra cash. Okay, so she's kind of... As the crowd surged forward, full of laughter and tears alike, the images of event were seen around the world. Salmon pepperoni. I'll say salmon pepperoni. That actually sounds pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big fan of salmon. This sunlight, where's the wall of clouds when you need it? Yeah, she spent half a year as a captive. Gloria, at last. I've been trying to reach you for days. Sorry, Mom. I've been busy with things. Are you still sleeping? It's already noon. No, I'm up. I was doing stuff. We're still getting together, right? Yeah. This afternoon. St. Michael's Station at 4:30. And please, don't be... I'll be on time, yeah, 4:30. Luxembourg Gardens. How's it going, Gloria? Still having those... intrusive thoughts? Yep. That happens. That monster is harmless as a pink elephant now. Interesting reference. So, the sequence in Dumbo with the pink elephants actually traumatized some people. There's people that still to this day are terrified of that scene. Interesting choice of words there. I know, Mom. They say he'll be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Can't even hold a fork, let alone try anything inappropriate. I know. And to think, you called the ambulance on your way out. That's more than most would have done, you know. Thanks, Mom. I feel way better now. Speaking of feeling better, have you replied to any of the offers you got? I told you already. I don't want my life story chopped up to fit in some book or Sophie Marceau glamorizing my worst nightmares on screen. Sophie Marceau? That would be amazing. Is she interested? Mom, enough. Sorry, darling. I didn't mean to upset you. Just keeping your best interests in mind. If that was true, you wouldn't be framing it like this. So this is the thing that happens, right? The mom is trying to get Gloria to say, like, to do stuff or say stuff so that the mom can feel okay. Not so Gloria can feel okay. This happens a lot with people that deal with people that have, like, anxiety and trauma and stuff like that. They, when a situation happens, excuse me, when a situation happens, they focus a lot on making themselves feel better. Like, oh, I need you to say you're okay so I know you're okay so I can feel better. And less on actually caring about how that person's feeling, right? She's asking about she's literally saying, hey, you've had offers to literally post your trauma all over the world. Why aren't you doing it? That's what her mom is saying, right? Not in those words, but that's what she's saying, right? And that's really messed up. Because not only did Gloria go through a traumatic event, now her mom's like, yeah, you should tell everybody about it. No, it's traumatic. People don't want to relive that stuff, right? Maybe you should, see? Telling her what she should and shouldn't do. Go on a diet, quit worrying before I get wrinkles. I was going to say travel. I was flipping through a cruise catalog yesterday and there were some very charming packages. What about 7 nights on the Mediterranean? Discovering Venice and Athens by sea. Mommy's treat for her brave daughter. That's really generous, but I don't think cruise is what I need. Yeah. Just like that, ZJ. She's projecting her own desires and preferences on her, yeah. I don't think the cruise is what I need. What I need is to get back on track. I'll call Aldo soon and see what's going on at the Swan. Aldo, the Swan? Oh dear. What? What's so bad about it? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but... You know what? I don't want to hear it, Mom. Black swans, pink elephants, I don't give a dang about any of it anymore. Because, see, the thing is she just went through one of the most traumatic experiences she's ever had, right? Probably the most traumatic experience she'll probably ever have in her life, right? For this evening's final performance, the Black Swan humbly presents for your pleasure, probably Gloria, the mesmerizing, the mysterious and magnificent Lady Gloria. But, oof, yeah, no longer exists. But, are we actually gonna do something here? Okay, we can move. But what I was gonna say is, what she needs is a support structure, right? You have to remember this is 1990, when people back then didn't understand trauma, like really not to the level that we're starting to understand it now. We still have a long ways to go, but what she needs is a support structure, and her mom is not being supportive of her healing through her trauma, right? Her mom is just trying to get her past it, right? She's like, go on a cruise, go somewhere, get away, right? Like, she's trying to tell her to just push the trauma away, right? And that's not processing the trauma. That's not dealing with the trauma. Now, obviously, again, it's the 90s, so counseling wasn't what it is today. But the way this is being approached is her world's been turned upside down for half a year, right? The way she was treated, the things that happened. She almost killed somebody, right? She could have killed somebody. She could have left him to drown, right? She didn't have to call the ambulance. So she came very close to killing somebody. And that in and of itself is a traumatic event, let alone being a captive for half a year or all the other terrible things, right? So the problem is she needs to process it, she needs to work through it, and she doesn't have anybody around her that's like, all right, what do you need me to do for you, right? What can I do to help? And if it's nothing, that's fine. I'll give you your space, because she's starting to do this thing. You've noticed by her apartment, like, it's completely a mess, right? And that's because a lot of times things like cleaning, things like laundry, whatever, like people think like, oh, they're simple tasks, why doesn't everybody do them? Because all it takes is for you to be on a precipice for a simple task to kind of push you over, right? So for some people it's so overwhelming to do something like the trash or the dishes or, you know, laundry, because they're already dealing with all this other stuff. So simple tasks have become overwhelming, right? But let's see how this game kind of puts a you know, a pin in this story, because how they approach this ending is going to be very important. Okay, Aldo's just hanging out in a chair like a creep. Gloria. Aldo. Long time no see. What's going on here? You came to say goodbye to this place? How kind. What are you talking about? It's the end of this world, Gloria. We lost. What? Last year you said we were going to expand, hire new dancers. Did you know bald eagles can swim? What, eagles? What are you talking about? Sometimes when an eagle tries and fails to catch a fish, its wings get soaked. When that happens, this deadly, powerful predator can't take flight. It's at the mercy of Mother Nature. To survive, the eagle must endure a painful swim to shore where it can dry its wings. Only then can it fly away to fish another day. You're the soul of the swan, Gloria. And I'm an unlucky eagle trying to reach the shore before drowned by the weight of my debts. What about the US tour with the whole Black Swan troupe? What? Ha, I wish. I don't know where you heard that, but we've never had plans to tour. Which, again, we knew that Bob was probably lying about a lot of things. So that's it. We've lost to movie theaters and video arcades. Movie theaters, video arcades? No, it's just a matter of time before they sink like we did. Which is true. It's the 90s, Gloria. The Iron Curtain's wide open, and a new one's descended to cover our world of cheap nostalgia. From movies in the VCR to cassettes in the boombox, people choose home over entertainment over going out. It's not slowing down either. Satellite television, CD players, home cinema, they're killing us at 60 frames per second. It's interesting. So, what's interesting about this is Aldo is not facing Gloria, he's facing the camera, he's facing us. That's interesting. Don't tell me the Swan is becoming a VHS rental store. Nope, but you still won't like it. I signed a deal with a fast food chain. You swap dancers for burgers? Seriously? I know, but they made an offer I couldn't refuse. Plus, I get to stay on as general manager. That's ridiculous. What do you know about burgers anyways? True, ketchup isn't exactly running through my veins. Sodas and sundaes are not my forte. But do you know But you know what I know a lot about, Gloria? Bald eagles? People. What they want and what I can take from them. What strings to pull and how hard to pull them. What matters is understanding people, same as it ever was. You didn't even call me for a final show. For the Swan song. I did, 2 weeks ago, but you didn't pick up and your answering machine was full. We can't move. I shouldn't have come back here. By the way, the Swan song is a myth, Gloria. These animals don't sing a beautiful song before the end. They hide somewhere and die like the rest of us. Like our world of cheap nostalgia. So we only have one more person we really need to see. Oh, we've gone back to our dream state. Interesting that we're in our clothes, though. Okay. But we're seeing versions of us, it looks like. Let me go. Okay. Oh, when did we change? Hold on. When did that happen? I was trying to see... Okay, so we've changed clothes now. I don't know when that happened, but that's something to pay attention to. Whenever she's in this nightgown, we're usually in a dream sequence. There's the princess. What? No. There's the basement. The thing she hid away. I paid my dues. Someone, please answer. Someone. Anyone. It's okay, Glow Glow. This is what I'm talking about. She doesn't have a support structure. Who does she call? Her mom's trying to sell her story to the media. Joy left her. Like, she doesn't have a lot of other people to support her. They won't let me live. They're like us. You're not like me. Breathe in and breathe out, yep. This is what Grey Breed taught her. Which is still, in my belief, the older version of her. So it's like a past, present, future kind of thing, right? But yeah, it's interesting because I think part of what she's feeling is trapped right? Which is, you know, kind of ironic in a messed up way, given what she dealt with. You... You're not like me. You are me. There we go. Hope. Okay. There we go. Intuition. And courage. Playing Simon Says with the courage. Okay. Courage, yep. Whee! Oh, that's a new one. Self? Sense of self, maybe? There's Gray Braid, who no longer has a braid. Doesn't look like... Oh, no, she does. Okay. This is it. Compassion. Four months later, I did everything I could to make this work. Everything. One word, Gloria. One single word from you. So our apartment's cleaned up a bit. Gloria, dear. About our lunch today, is it okay if we do it another time? Are you sure? I have some good news to share with you. Well, you could just tell me now, or another time. And by the way, I don't know if you remember, but when I turned 19, you said you'd get me a car if I get a job as a dancer. You used nothing fancy, just for going on tours and stuff. Yeah, I remember. You got the gig on the Swan, but you never brought it up. Maybe. I hoped you'd bring it up yourself. But what are you going to do with a car in Paris anyways? I have to go now. Thanks, Mom. Before you go, are you available next week? See, and that's interesting right there. I know someone just knocked. But what she's essentially doing there, even though the way she's going about it is a little abrasive, but given how her mom treats her in the whole situation, it makes some sense, is she's setting a boundary now with her mom, right? Her mom's been like, ooh, do all this stuff, do the things I want you to do. And she's like, no, I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna take you up on that offer for a car. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Like, she's starting to set a boundary there. I'm interested to see if this is Joy. Hey. Sorry, I was on the phone, my mother. Yeah. Oh boy. What did Queen Victoria have to say? Good joke. Something about some good news she had to share. You know, I didn't know who to call, and Joy to the rescue. Sassy. It's good to see you. She's also, it looks like she's packing up, right? You can see boxes sitting around. You want a drink? Nah, I'm fine. Changing neighborhoods? I've been trapped in this city long enough. I'm leaving Paris. Where will you go? Don't know yet. South, I think, to the ocean. I'll figure out on the way. So what's today's plan? You said you needed my help. Yeah. I need to go back to the museum. The museum. The one with your statue? Gloria, I don't know if you've heard, but the bronze captive, they say it's become a mecca for weirdos. Going there's not gonna do you any favors. I feel like there's a ghost. It is out there still holding a piece of me. A ghost? If I had known that, I would have brought my crucifix. Sorry, Glow. Yeah, so what Joy's trying to do there is she's trying to deflect with comedy, which unfortunately is not helpful to Gloria. Because Gloria needs to do something, and she's like, I should have brought my crucifix, ha ha ha, let's take care of a ghost, right? Because Joy may not have the capacity to kind of deal with the seriousness of it, right? And that happens a lot. You know, I've had friends that they'll do that when you start talking about something deeper or heavier or more emotionally based. They'll like start deflecting with comedy. It's like, I don't really want to talk about this, but I'm not going to tell you I don't want to talk about this. I'm just going to start making jokes, right? Which in their mind is them being like, okay, this is how I'm not dealing with this, but to someone else's mind, it could be like, oh, you're making a joke about what I'm thinking or what I'm saying, which is why there's some miscommunications there. In a perfect world, the statue would just be gone, poof, without a trace. But it's not like that. I'll leave the city, and the bronze captive will stay behind for Paris to leave her at. Can't imagine what you've been through. That's okay, thank you. Let's go bust that ghost. But, St. Louis Foundation for Art. Are you sure about this, Glow? Not so much now. It's your call. We can leave if you want. Go to the movies or have a beer on the docks. Leave all this stuff behind us. It's okay, don't worry. 2 tickets, please. So she's seeing some ghosts of her past here. Thank you. Ready when you are. Part of me wishes I brought a sledgehammer. For the statue, you mean? The media would have a field day. You'd never hear the end of it. Fine Arts Magazine. Traveling the province. Very curious. Okay. I was curious if there was going to be people here again. What happened to the bronze captive? Interesting. What does this say? Art avenges life. That's some symbolic way to say life sucks. So the paintings have changed here. Claude Monet, water lilies, evening effect. A pond. At least nobody's drowning in it. Francisco de Goya. Yeah, I was like, that's a de Goya painting. I know that one. Uncle Paquette. The blind man seems happy even though he's drowning in darkness. Goya paintings get used a lot in horror media. Especially the one with the guy being torn by like a giant. Can't remember what that one's called. It's like a painter didn't bother finishing the piece. Can't tell what this woman's thinking. Her face is half erased. Did you spot the dog? At first I thought it was a mud puddle. Joy. The artist must be one of those lazy dudes. The public thinks you do no wrong. Earth Morsat Boys de Boulogne? I'd call that one unfinished business. Gloria? Gloria? Okay, so the guy's sleeping in here now. Gloria. Your statue. She's gone. Interesting. Orange Woods. Okay, so this is where we got kidnapped at first. At first, I thought it was a mud puddle. Berth Massot. Voice de Boulogne. I'd call that one unfinished business. Like, I think what it is she recognized that place in the park, right? Yep. Bob. Gloria. Is that you? How have you been since... You don't like what you see? What you made it be? A puddle on wheels? At least you dodged jail time. Dodged death too by a small margin. A way too small margin. I'm sorry, I can't imagine how you must feel. No one deserves this. Wait, is it pity or guilt that I feel here? Feeling bad for the ugly duck you left underwater unconscious? You shouldn't worry too much about me. I don't like the diapers, but the clinic is great. Comfy beds, nice food. Maybe not as good as the meals I used to make for you. But I've got people taking care of me now, nurses to change my bed sheets and wash my back. Plus, I'm not too far from Boulogne Woods. Our place. Don't you remember? You were unconscious, but that's where we hugged for the first time. Before I took you home. Shut up. Sweet memories. How about you? Still dancing? Any new projects you'd like to share with me? Enough. Waiting for her to push him into the water. Maybe you dodged jail. But you won't get away from this. Yep. I'm gonna see if we can choose not to do this. It hasn't let us choose not to do anything yet. But... no, it looks like we have to do this. You're a monster. Gloria? Goodbye, little puddle. What are you saying? After all I've done, you know I deserve this. Do it. One gentle little push. Come back. Finish what you've started down there. Gloria. I beg you, Gloria. One small push for me, please. It's your life. Do it yourself. Yep. She had a very... like, she had a choice there. She had a choice there. But... one of the things that... you have to remember is... you can't... and it's hard to do sometimes, but you can't let trauma and all of that stuff turn you into a monster, right? It's very easy to let those things kind of overtake your mind and use them as a justification for violence, right? She had like he said, she had every reason to push him into that lake. I hope it's not too late. But she didn't, because she's not him, right? I was thinking maybe we could have a party tonight. Because she's not him, right? She's not a monster. I'm leaving tomorrow. Tomorrow. Not tomorrow. What is tomorrow? It might be a word. but it's very easy when you have like unprocessed trauma, unprocessed issues to welcome to the nest. Wow, so cool. This is going to one great last night. But it's very easy to let that trauma and stuff kind of overcome you. Working with clay is to a process, you know. Just remember that it's cold and smells like mud. Of course, a quality woman like you should only be carved from marble, firm and delicate with a diaphanous aura, just like the muses of antiquity. Hold your horses, Apollo. You're not winning anyone over by calling them an antique. Such a strong-willed woman. Perhaps you're the granite type. Love it. Are they flirting? You. My mother... I'm gonna have to turn this music down for me, because I can't... Your mother told me you're going on a road trip. Well, she'd prefer to see me packed onto a cruise ship, but I chose the road. Touch of sand and the sound of crickets. And the scent of lavender, rosemary, and the setting sun. Memories. About your road trip, you can still change your mind, you know. The Mediterranean cruise offer still stands. Go out and see the world. Remember when you told me about meeting that Australian drummer at the party? And the next day you started following his band across Europe? That was the 60s, honey. Nowadays, we're not just along for the ride. We travel on our own terms. Don't worry, Mom. I'll be alright. As for the cruise, maybe you should take it. Me, alone? I don't know. Maybe find someone to go with? Can we talk to this sleeping guy? What was I talking about? But yeah, it's very easy to... Hello. May I? Sure. It's very easy to let those kinds of stuff kind of change your personality. Hey, it's Great Braid. But, Gloria. Great Braid, you came. Of course I did. The kid is around too. A kid in a nightclub? I'm glad I got a chance to see you before I left town. It's time for you to seek new horizons. Let the rivers guide you. Exactly. I should have liked to show children those dolphins. Of the blue wave, those golden, those singing fishes. Foam of flowers rocked my driftings, and time's ineffable winds would lend me wings. Would lend me wings. This is your night, Gloria. Enjoy. Do you know... Wait. Do you know the same... It's a long story. Ah, there's a basement. What were they? They were called Cagehead, right? Wow, you invited him? Aldo? Oh, he's down there. He can be an a-hole, yeah, but I wouldn't be where I am without him. Can we talk to... There we go. Cagehead, I'm so happy to see you. Happy she is. You remove the bars in front of your face. Never imagined there was such a cute face underneath. You kind. And this place better. Better than basement. You like this place? The nest will always be open for us. So feel free to stay. My new place. There we go. So now she's finally merged those. Instead of it being separate, her new, it's now my new. Because remember, they're all parts of her. Hey, Aldo. Gloria, great energy tonight. Love it. We still miss having you on the team, you know. Luckily, we have Stephanie. She got promoted recently. Right, Stephanie? Yes, Mr. Riviera. Head coach of the Burger Flippers. Great. More like it's more interesting than that. So no regrets shutting down the Swan. Business-wise, it's a definite upgrade, but I didn't realize nostalgia would hit so hard. Maybe it wasn't such a genius move after all. You know, when you're feeling stuck and opportunity comes knocking, why refuse the call? I'm not really in a position to judge, Mr. Bald Eagle. Okay. We talk specifically to... No, okay. Oh, the DJ's princess. Nice. Your Highness. Hey, princess. I'm busy. Still mad at me? The cakes, the dresses, all that fancy stuff. I know you loved it, but I had to put an end to all this. That's okay. By the way, you're rocking it as a DJ, yeah? Definitely, Your Highness. These tracks are honey in my ears. Alright. Let's see who else we got. Okay, we've got Museum Lady, Other Dancer. Trying to make sure that we find everybody. Now that's a cool bar. This bartender, do I know her from somewhere? Let's go down here first. Ah, there's somebody down here. Sneaky. Hey there. Okay. Maybe that's a representation of fear? Can we follow them? Let's see if we can find them. But, no, it looks like they completely disappeared. Nope, there they are. Sneaky. Hey, sorry if I freaked you out. I just wanted to... Alright, let's see. There they are. Excuse me, is there something wrong? Okay, they're over there. Alright, so let's pass the bar and on our way to go talk to them again. Alright, so let's talk to bartender. Hey, miss, what can I get you? Any suggestions? My signatures are Tequila Sunrise, Southside, and Sea Breeze. I don't know what to choose. Take your time. Whatever you choose, you won't regret it. Hey, Laurie, I love your look. Can't go back there. Alright, let's see if we can finally talk to... Why are you running away from me? There they are. They're hiding next to Princess. Listen, I'm sorry about before. I shouldn't have tried to shut you up. You're welcome. Listen, when I first met you, I maybe overacted a little. I thought you wanted to attack me, but you just wanted to warn me, to help me. So thank you. Glad I could count on you. Oh yeah, it's Grolia. That's what it was, yeah. Love you too, Grolia. We got an achievement that says make peace with Grolia. But yeah, it's kind of their embodiment of fear, and that's an interesting conversation in and of itself. Is the fact that like a lot of people think that like fear is inherently bad, but fear can keep you alive, right? It's your body's reaction to something being like something's off, something's wrong. We should probably think about this, that kind of thing, right? There's someone we haven't talked to. But letting it overwhelm you is where it becomes a problem, right? When it starts negatively impacting you, that's when fear becomes a problem. Shall we light up the dance floor? Hey, there's Kid. I was like, where? She said Kid was here. I love it. You should have showed me this place the first time we met. I didn't know how to get here back then. It took some serious work to find it. No skipping steps. So this is her talking about processing. Like, nothing she dealt with has gone away, but she's been able to use it to move forward. I'm going to make rounds. Will you stay a while? Yep, catch you later. Hi, Kid. Glow Glow! Hey, Kid. Want to play hide and seek again? Sure. Let's do this. Where should we play? Let's see how well you hide in my apartment. Awesome, show me. Let's start. Close your eyes, first to 3 wins. Okay, she's in the sink. I'll try to hide better. Close your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Here I come. So usually you can see, like, part of her, like, peeking out somewhere. Like she was in that picture right there. You're so good at this game. You need better spots. Close your eyes and count again. 3, 2, 1. She's in the mirror now. Found you. You won. Yeah, I guess. I'm hide and seek champ. That was fun. More. Sure. Where do you want to go? Spooky Museum. Alright, close your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Open. So she's hiding behind this. Found you. Gosh, you got me. Try to hide better. Let's start again. Close your eyes. 3, 2, 1. I think she's in the painting over here. Yeah. So good at this game. Okay, close your eyes. Okay, and she's right here. Found you. Okay, let's try the last... Let's try the last place. Stay here, hide in my apartment, storage room. Okay, this one's a little cluttered. This one might actually make it hard to find her. Oh, she's right there. Got me. Try to hide better. I'm ready. Close your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Don't see her. I think maybe no. Time's up. Oh. Okay. Oh wow, this one, yeah, this one was hard. I tried to interact with that. Okay. Maybe later. What do we got here? Last time you had the upper hand. Guess I know how to brawl. Wouldn't stand a chance to get my sugar bombs now. I'm done. I'm looking for trouble. Okay. So I think these allow you to like replay the mini games. Yeah. So those are the like replay, I guess. So let's go talk to Joy again. How's it going? Want to stay longer or bounce? I think we can go now. But yeah, so again, this is supposed to be a representation of her, you know, somewhat processing things. Because that's the thing about trauma. It never really leaves. You just find ways of dealing with it. Well, Glow. Hey there, kid. You were just about to leave. Time to go? I'm going to miss you. But you're both coming with me, right? Right? Gloria. On the trip, I need you for what comes next. I need you real bad. Or are you sad? I didn't realize this goodbye is forever. It's not. We'll always be there with you. Someday we'll bid farewell to the universe, but that time hasn't come yet. Now go on, stargaze a little with your friend. Still a little time before the sun rises. Alright. A Super 5, nice. I was thinking about a Ferrari, but this one was cool Pioneer radio, so you know. I think that's it. Yeah, time for you to hit the road. But before you go, I have a little something for you. A compass? You know, you're not going trekking through the Amazon, but thought it was pretty. And when you're feeling down, you can always look at it and see which way is up. Technically north, but plus you can just follow the little arrow whenever you want to visit us in Paris. You think it's a stupid present? No. It's more beautiful than any golden necklace I've ever seen. Thank you. Cool. And you have my address, so I don't know. Send a postcard when you can. Don't cry. I'm not crying. Joy, stay safe, okay? What about you? Why? What's the worst that could happen? Yeah. You're the best, Gloria. Thank you, Joy. You are too. You helped me a lot, sometimes in ways you didn't even realize. Oh yeah? Then I guess I really am the best. Anyways, you should get going if you want to reach the ocean before sunset. Take care. Gas, check. Sunglasses, check. Mixtapes. And yeah, I figured this was the song that they were gonna check. Well, now it begins. Complete the game. Oh, I can drive. What am I doing? Decarnation. Game written and designed by Quentin de... I don't know how to say that. I don't want to butcher anybody's name, but... well, once this is over, I like to let the credits roll a little bit so people can see who worked on what. We'll talk about it like we do anything else with mechanics and gameplay and story and all that stuff. Console port. I didn't know this game was on console. That's kind of cool. Oh, I almost missed that one. I'm guessing all of the music is made for this game. Like they actually had musicians, because they talked about it earlier. Localization in multiple languages, always good to see. Quality assurance. Yeah, we didn't really run into any bugs or anything. Playtesters. Special thanks. I don't know if you get anything for getting all the stars. I would assume there's probably an achievement or something, but... Also, it looks like we are actually literally getting close to the beach, so if you paid attention to the background, very special thanks to you. Collect all your stars on the way to the south. So there was an achievement for that. Later that day. Okay, we're not done yet. Please, come on in. Welcome to the artist's lair. So this is the place. Where the genius spread his wings. Just a humble servant to the muses. Not as dusty as I thought. It's under this blanket, I guess. Would you like to see? The dancer, removed from museums once and for all. Curator was furious, but he owed me a favor. Even I can afford to be morally correct once in a while. Muses must be proud. So that's where they stand? While you're fiddling with your block of clay? Funny how you only use women half your age as models. When you have so many beautiful women over 60. I found that women your age have too little confidence or too much ego. You wouldn't dare pose for me. Want to bet? Perhaps a little wine first? Never before I go on stage. I was wondering if this intro was gonna change. Like, sometimes games, after you beat them, will change it. Very curious. So they do have a scene selection, so if you wanted to go back and play anything, you have all the acts there. So you can go back to, like, the nest and play those mini games. So, But yeah, so let's go ahead and quit this, and we're gonna swap over here. Ooh, there we go. All right, so Decarnation. We'll talk about mechanics first. Let's shake it up a little bit. Mechanics, very simple. Like, most of it was move, press spacebar to interact. They did have some mini games in there. You had the DDR style push the arrow at the right time thing, Rock Band, Guitar Hero, however you want to put it. So there was that mini game. I'm trying to think. There was another mini game. Oh, the stretching mini game, which was like the Stardew fish thing. So they had some mini games mechanically to kind of break up the thing. They chose. It's very interesting. I'm very curious why they chose it, because I think story wise it makes sense. But like, there is no run in this game. At no point can I hold shift or anything to run. It's move and interact. Those are mainly our two main mechanics. But I don't think a game like this needs a lot of mechanical depth to get to where it needs to be in the story. And I think walking places, because the places were close enough that it didn't feel like I needed to get somewhere quickly, that I was taking in the environment the whole time. And it was spaced well enough to where I didn't feel like, oh my god, I gotta run all the way over here and then all the way. There wasn't a lot of like backtracking per se. But yeah, so mechanically, it's not the most complex game in the world, but I think that's to its credit, to be honest, because, and now we'll talk about story, this story is probably one of the best, like, conversations about mental health, right? There's, obviously, it's framed from a perspective of a captive. They go through a lot of emotions with this. Trauma, obviously, being something very important to this discussion. But they had a lot of trigger warnings for this game. And those are important. Because this game is very, very trigger heavy. There's a lot of stuff from drowning to eating disorders to assault and all of that. Like, there is a lot to this game that people could find very uncomfortable. But I find that's kind of what makes me want to play games like this, because it allows people to possibly start talking about topics or seeing topics that they don't normally engage with, right? So they'll play a game like this and they're like, oh my god, you know, I've had problems with this, or I know a friend who's had reactions like this, or something like that, right? Like, they can start to see mirrors to their own life, either personally or interpersonally, like between people. And I think there's a lot of important conversations to have there, because, again, like we were having a conversation about her mother, and how her mother just wanted her to just like push it away. Just go on a cruise, go away, get away from it, you know, whatever, right? And she did decide to go away, but she decided to go away on her own terms, right? That's very important, that she was the one making the decision on where she was headed next, why she was headed there, and all that stuff. You know, would she return to Paris? Probably. She might come see her mom or her friend, but, you know, her focus is more on, I need to start something else, right? I need to start and move in a new direction, because she had become very stagnant when she returned home after all of that, because the world was just so overwhelming, right? And she mentions in there, and it's a very important thing to mention, she mentions that it felt like a dream, right? Like, you wake up and you're like, did that really happen? Your brain actually does do that. A lot of people don't think that, but your brain will do that. Your brain does a lot of things in order to protect itself. Some bad, some good, but that is the thing it will do. It will make you feel as if the traumatic experience didn't actually happen, right? It's like, oh, well, if it didn't actually happen, I don't have to worry about it, right? But obviously it happened. We saw it happen, she saw it happen, and she knew it happened. But your brain does a lot of things. I was actually talking to a friend about this before, but there are actually people that go through memory loss because of traumatic events, because of depressive episodes, because of anxious episodes, because the brain will try to protect itself. So what it does is it takes the harmful memories, or what it sees as a harmful memory, and it'll hide it somewhere, right? And then it'll put stuff on top of that, right? And then what ends up happening is when you go through therapy or you start processing and, using your support system, you'll start pulling back those layers, right? And then you end up finding that thing that you had forgotten about. And then you can finally process this thing instead of it being hidden under a whole bunch of other stuff. Now you're like, oh, that was real. That did happen. There's a lot of people that have reported like memory loss issues with traumatic events. A lot. Because the problem is when traumatic events happen, a lot of times your brain cannot process it. There's just too much going on in that moment for your brain to be like, okay, let's work through this. It can't do that, right? That's why people get PTSD, or part of the reason why people get PTSD and stuff is because their brain just goes, can't process this, push it away. Can't process this, push it away, right? So you end up getting this like bookcase full of things that are unprocessed because your brain is just trying to protect you by putting it somewhere else, right? But there's a lot to go, like a lot going on with psychology and stuff, and I think the aesthetic, the way things are said and written, the story itself, they all lend itself very, very well to breaching these topics, right? Because in even Aldo's little thing at the end where like, oh, we're being replaced at 60 frames per second. Technically in the 90s, most people didn't talk about FPS. But that was kind of that was an aside to the player. But it's one of those things that you have to be very careful with how you approach this stuff, right? Because if you make it seem too outlandish, people will be like, that's not real. But if you make it too serious, people won't want to engage with it, right? Because they're not comfortable dealing with that. And that to me is like what horror really helps with in a lot of uncomfortable topics, is the fact that they allow you to breach these topics because you're already uncomfortable, right? Like this body horror stuff that you see behind me, this amalgamation of like nastiness, was their way of like making people feel uncomfortable as they breach the real topics of being stalked, being a prisoner, eating disorders, suicidal ideations, the idea of being watched, all of that, right? So I think from a story standpoint, I think this is probably one of the best, if not the best, approach I've seen to talking about mental health issues. I think the framing was really well done. I think the way that it used parts of her psyche as voices in her own head, like Joy showing up, even though Joy probably have never said those things to her, she was using Joy as her kind of like bouncing off point, right? So, and sometimes it was for worse, sometimes it was for better, but overall, she would use those voices. She would use the kid's voice and Gray Braid and Princess and all of this stuff. She was battling within herself, and you could see those battles both mechanically but also through the story. And she laid out a plan and executed it and was able to kind of break free. I'll be honest, I was worried that game was going to end with her unaliving herself. To be completely honest, I thought that's where it was going to end, which like I could see that being an ending, but I think the way this story is told, the way they ended it made much more sense, especially the nightclub. Now, I know the nightclub was kind of there so you could interact with some of the old mechanics if you were so inclined, probably get achievements or whatever. But like the nightclub was a great example of her, because there's a conversation with Joy, and we'll get to that in a second. But it was her way of being like, these are all parts of me: Gray Braid, Cage Head, Princess. Like that trauma doesn't go away. Even if something's people think it's like, oh, once something's processed, it's put on a shelf nice and neat and you never have to worry about it again. That's not how trauma works for a lot of people. Some people maybe, but not a lot of people, right? It's one of those, it becomes a part of who you are, essentially. Not as a definition, but as in something that you've experienced, right? And that's kind of what the nightclub was her reframing those things that happened to her in a positive way. What does she love? She loves music. She loves dancing. She loves being around people. And that's what the nightclub represented, right? She was around people. She got to dance. She got to listen to music. It was kind of like a I'd argue the tree was more of a safe place than the nightclub, but the nightclub was an example of her modifying a safe place to basically encompass the trauma, to allow it to exist but not overwhelm her. Now, there will be times in her life where those things are going to come back with a vengeance. You know, it happens. Sometimes you just have bad days, right? Sometimes you just have the days where that trauma just comes back to get you. Because again, it doesn't go away. It really doesn't. So I think from a story standpoint, they told a really good story. I like that it went through the iterations of her battling herself. Like, it was always her, right? Every decision she made was on her to make. Obviously, being a prisoner was not her choice, but the thing she did as a prisoner was her choice. Because there was quite a few references to her being like, well, I could just do this and then it's over, or I could just do this and it's over, right? And she never really gave in to those voices, right? Which, again, in her situation is something very hard to do, because she was in there for over half a year, right? Or close to half a year. Because it's 365 days. She was in there for like 179. So, yeah, it's roughly half a year-ish. But yeah. So, story was really good. I like how they approached it. I like that they spent the time to be like... And the thing is I'd be very interested if these developers talked to people that had been in similar situations, or at least had traumatic events. Because there's some of these voices that are very realistic to things that I've personally heard from other people talk about when they hear that, like, well, it could just do this, or, you know, I'm not going to do that, or whatever, right? Like, a lot of the things that I saw in there, I have heard from other people. So it's definitely one of those, they did some research on exactly what should be mentioned here. I still don't know the point of the magician. He's kind of a strange character. But I don't know. Maybe there's something to that guy that I missed. But yeah, story-wise, great, really, really great approach to a lot of triggering topics. I think this handled it very, very well. I think the simplicity of the mechanics let the story shine a lot more, which is obviously the point with a game like this. I think the character Gloria was really great, honestly. Like, she's well written. She goes through a lot of the stages that you would expect for someone in the situation. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the game. I would definitely recommend it to people. The caveat being, this is a very trauma triggering game, right? This is not something you walk in and be like, oh, this is going to be a good time. It is currently on sale for less than $10 if you're interested. It's usually $15. Apparently you can get some of the music if you're so interested. There's like 2 songs that you can get. But this is not a game that you just go in like, let's have a good time. It's going to... Now, there's some people I feel like are going to have more of a reaction than other people, but I do think this is a great way. Like, I'd argue, because there's not a whole lot of jump scares and stuff, it's not like horror in the sense like it's coming to get you, but this is a great way for maybe someone to breach a topic with a friend that they didn't understand until after playing this game, right? Because it talks a lot about different types of traumas in this, and I think if they were to play this and then, like, they could maybe start to understand why a friend or a family member maybe thinks or acts a certain way. Now, I'm not saying it's the be-all, end-all. Obviously, communication's important. You don't want to try to, like, push into somebody's boundaries in an effort to help them. We talked a little bit about that with the mom, and I do want to reiterate that scene with the mom was very important, because whenever you're approaching someone who's dealing with anxiety, dealing with depression, dealing with trauma, especially, you don't go in with your own stuff, right? Don't be like, hey, I need you to tell me it's okay, right? Because that's not what they need right there, right? What they need is whatever they tell you they need, right? Do they need you to listen? Do they need you to just give them some space, right? The people will tell you what they need if it's asked correctly. But her mom was not approaching it. She was basically like, I don't want to hear about this, or I want to take advantage of your trauma, right? Like, so basically she had two major issues. One, she was like, yeah, you should tell the world about it and become famous for being traumatized. That's not a good way to approach it at all. Some people can do that. Some people can, once they've spent enough time, talk about their story. A lot of people, even actors and actresses and stuff, have spent some time having those videos talking about, like, look, this is some stuff I went through when I was younger or a few years back or whatever. And those are definitely helpful, but still. And then and then after she wouldn't, like, let her, you should tell your story, she was also like, you should go on a cruise. You should just go away, right? And she was looking to her mother for support, and her mother was not supporting her. Her mother was trying to make herself feel better, right? And that's not what Gloria needed, right? But, and then again, like I said, when we were talking about the Joy segment, you have to be careful. Like, the end sequence is a perfect example of when it's okay to use comedy as deflection versus when she was using it initially, right? When she was using it initially, Gloria was definitely like, I can't handle you making light of this right now. But at the end of the game, Gloria initiated the joke, right? She started the kind of joke back and forth about, haha, it was kind of messed up, haha, right? And that's when Joy should have gone, okay, Gloria seems to be okay talking about it in this manner, so now we can make the jokes, right? You have to pay attention to people when things happen. You have to pay attention to how they react, what they're saying, how they're saying it. Because people, whether subconsciously or consciously, will choose words that kind of make sense to them, but might not make sense to someone else, right? So the words that they try to use or do use may come off as abrasive or like nihilistic or something like that. But that's because that's what's kind of sometimes going on in their heads, right? Again, I'm not a psychologist, and my recommendation is always, if you're having issues, get help for it. Talk to your general practitioner. Try to get any talk to a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a counselor or social worker, whatever you can manage. Definitely get help for anything, because if a counselor is good, now I will admit, sometimes you don't get a good counselor and you have to keep trying, and it sucks. But what you can do is, once you do find a good counselor, they will give you the tools to kind of process and deal with what you've been dealing with, but in a positive way, right? So if you get no other takeaway from this entire spiel about Decarnation, it's, if you need help, make sure you're getting it, right? I know it's hard for a lot of people, but if you have the time, if you have the availability, and you are dealing with stuff and it's hard for you and you feel overwhelmed, you need to talk to somebody. Now, it can be a friend, but I do recommend some professional help, because again, the professional will be able to give you tools to continue your journey of dealing with it, whereas a friend might just give you some advice or something, which kind of, it's like a band-aid, right? It's like, it's a little bit of a fix for now, but it's not gonna deal with the entire issue a lot of times, unless you have a friend who's a psychologist, in which case, you gotta still be careful with that. But anyways, I'd recommend Decarnation. I think this game was great. It was, like I said, full of triggers, so it does come with like a major, big red flag of trigger warnings for people to play it, but I think this is really, really well done. The music was good, maybe not my style, but I think it was handled well. The music makes sense for the scenes, the boss fights, and all of that. Really well done. So overall, big recommend from me. If you missed the first part of this, it will be up on YouTube later today, hopefully. And it's definitely down in the VODs below. So, but we're not done.